No. Wrong trick. Wrong trick. Reset. Hi everyone, welcome to Pole Sphere. My name is Tammy, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you the oak root. Prerequisites for this trick is your cupid and sitting bird. Let's take a look. This trick is a little bit easier to do from the floor, so let's take a look at it that way first. I'm going to start standing beside the pole. Take your inside leg and lift it up nice and high, around about hip height. Extend your inner arm up the pole and take your outside hand across the body. Make sure that with this outside hand, it's parallel to the floor so that you can push and have a degree of control through the movement. Now, I'm going to take this outside leg, so the one that's on the floor standing, and I'm going to hook it around the bottom of the pole. So to do that, I need to make sure that I'm engaging my shoulders and pulling the pole down to lift that leg up and wrap it around. Extend the top leg, cross it over the top of the bottom one, so like you're sitting cross-legged, and then tuck it behind the pole. From here, lower your hips down, so sinking your bum towards your heels. You're going to then take that top hand and bring it down into an elbow grip. So make sure that this outside arm that you're pulling so that you don't let your body drop out to the side. So pulling yourself up, change to an elbow grip just below shoulder height. And we're reaching for the inside of that top leg. If you can't get a good grip, slide it down a little bit further and sink your bum further towards your heels. Really pull that leg in, and when you're feeling comfortable, you can release that top hand. To come out, hands back on the pole outside first, pull your chest up, release the legs, and come to stand. Let's take a look at those grip points. To start with, you will be gripping in the back of this top knee, though that leg will of course be coming off. When this outside leg comes onto the pole, you're going to try to really make sure that you're squeezing your knees together and keeping your ankles together so that it doesn't sort of dangle low like this. So make sure that your ankles are squeezed together and you're getting it really nicely in the back of the knee pit. As you release the top leg and cross over, notice that it's running down the outside of that thigh. Then as I tuck that foot behind and sink down, we've got quite a lot of grip points here. It's running down the outside of the thigh. I've got my bottom foot hooked on, and I've also got the back of the knee and thigh of the bottom leg. The elbow grip, as it comes on, you want to angle your arm down. And that's going to really help to lock on that grip. Now the final point that's really going to help that elbow grip hook on is to think about leaning away from the pole a little bit. So if you pull in too close, you're going to find that the elbow grip and some of the leg as well is going to, you're going to lose some of that grip and slide out. So once you've made that contact, think about just trying to lean the side of your chest away from the pole to lock it on. Common problems with this trick. So one of probably the most common issue that you might encounter is if you're not sort of bracing away from the pole enough and you're in too close. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to compromise your grip points. So you want to make sure right from the setup, even with your arms in position, that you're not hanging into the trick. Okay, so you want to make sure that you've really got that solid triangle set up before you commence. Now the other issue that you might encounter is struggling to get the grip on that bottom leg. So you really want to make sure that when you hook this knee, you're really getting it into that knee pit. Okay, and to do that, remembering we want to squeeze our knees and ankles together so we don't let that leg dangle down. Keep it squeezed. And again, it's going to come back to this triangle setup. So if we're slid out down too much, then you're not going to be able to get that leg around the pole and into position. Some other things that might go wrong is struggling to get the foot behind the pole. So again, make sure that you start with the toes hooked, but then you really want to sink your weight down, and that's going to help to secure that foot grip around the pole. If you stay upright, it's going to have more of a tendency to kind of flick out away from the pole. And finally, the last common problem you might encounter is not being able to reach your leg to grab a hold of it and pull in. So make sure you don't have your elbow too high. The positioning is going to change a little bit depending on your own dimensions. So if you're finding that you can't reach that leg, make sure you slide that hand down a little bit more, and also make sure that your hips are still sinking towards your bottom, and that'll make it a little bit easier to reach further around. Now let's take a look at this up the pole. So remembering our starting position was inside hand high, outside hand across the body, and the inside leg hooked. So we're going to come through a climb, arms in position, push away with that bottom arm so that you can bring that inside leg onto the pole in a knee hook. And for starters, that bottom leg can be pressing into the pole. Then you're going to bring that leg around into the knee hook, squeezing those knees and ankles together. Release the top leg, tuck it behind the pole. If you're having trouble reaching it round, slide that hands down a little bit. Now, if you're finding that you don't feel secure enough to take off that top hand, you can move the bottom hand up a little bit. Okay, that'll just give you a little bit more capacity to keep your chest lifted as you release that hand. Move it down into an elbow grip, grabbing the outside of the thigh again, sinking your bottom towards your heels, and then arm comes off. And again to come out, hands back on, pull up, release the legs, and down. Common problems specific to doing this trick up the pole. You may find in getting into it a different way that your spacing is a little bit different. So if you find that you can't take that hand off, just as I mentioned earlier, slide the bottom hand up, and that'll give you that security to be able to release the top hand. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to check out the quizzes below this tutorial, and please tag us in your videos and photos in our socials and in the members lounge. Take care. Bye. Reset.